So, let me guess. You're into Stoicism now, right? I mean, it's everywhere lately. Every self help podcast talks about how real men should be stoic, calm, unemotional, and strong. I get it, but honestly, it feels like another way to shove men into a box. No, Stoicism is about control. It's about not letting emotions take over your life. I don't see how that's a bad thing. Look at guys like Marcus Aurelius. They didn't let their feelings rule them, they faced it logically. That's strength. But is it strength to suppress how you feel? I mean, I get the idea of not letting emotions overwhelm you, but pretending like they don't exist or pushing them down? That doesn't sound healthy to me. It sounds like another form of pressure, like men are just supposed to tough it out no matter what. It's not about pretending emotions don't exist. It's about mastering them, not being at their mercy. How is that a bad thing? I'm tired of being told that feeling things or being distracted by feelings makes me weak.
Hey, Jordan, it sounds like Stoicism really resonates with you, especially the idea of mastering emotions. And Chris, you're concerned that this approach could lead to suppression rather than balance. Could we step back for a moment and notice what's happening here? Jordan, you mentioned being tired of feeling like showing emotions makes you weak. Is that something you've been carrying for a while?
I mean, yeah, kinda. It's just men aren't allowed to show weakness, you know? We're told to keep it together, no matter what. Stoicism at least gives me a way to deal with that. It's not shameful to be strong. But, dude, it's like you're saying, men can't ever show emotion without it being weak. Stoicism, as it's being pushed now, feels like it's just making men bottle everything up until they explode. That's not mastery. That's avoiding the hard stuff. I'm not avoiding anything. It's just, if I start giving into all these feelings, then what? I'll be a mess. You know what happens when guys show their emotions? They get torn apart for it. Better to just keep it together. You know, people relying on me like a real man should, like a stoic.
Jordan, it sounds like there's a real fear of being judged if you show emotion. Maybe even a sense of shame around the idea of appearing vulnerable. Could that be why Stoicism feels like a safe place for you?
I don't know. Maybe. I just don't want to be one of those guys who falls apart every time life gets hard. I'm trying to stay in control. That's all. But staying in control doesn't mean ignoring what's going on inside. I've seen you frustrated, man. Like right now. It's okay to admit that stuff's hard. It doesn't make you weak.
Jordan, could it be that this pressure to keep it together is creating even more frustration? The idea that you have to hold everything in, to never show vulnerability, that's a heavy load to carry. Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotional suppression. What if the real strength comes from acknowledging and balancing your emotions without being controlled by them?
I guess. But it feels like the moment I let my guard down, everything will fall apart. I can't afford to be that guy who loses it. You're not going to fall apart just because you feel things. That's the whole point of balance, right? Maybe Stoicism has some good ideas about not letting emotions run your life, but if you're using it to shut everything out, you're missing the balance part.
Exactly. It's not all or nothing. Stoicism at its core teaches resilience, but resilience doesn't mean shutting down. It means facing challenges, including emotional ones, without letting them break you. Could we think about this dialectically? Maybe it's possible to honor the idea of control while also making space for your emotions in a healthy way. What would that balance look like for you, Jordan?
I don't know. I'm just not used to thinking about it like that. It's easier to just push it all down, you know? I get it. But maybe pushing it down is why it keeps coming back. We don't have to agree on everything, but at least give yourself the chance to let some of it out without thinking you'll lose control.
And you don't have to do it all at once. Even just getting curious about why you feel this pressure can be a huge step. Stoicism can teach strength, but part of strength is knowing when to lean into vulnerability too. You don't have to carry it all by yourself.
Maybe. I'll think about it. It's just hard to see it any other way right now.
That's completely okay. Remember, you don't have to figure it all out today. Just being open to exploring that balance is a powerful step in itself. You've already started, Jordan.